Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. And I'll be your host, Brent Thomas. Thank you all for being here. Hope you guys are doing great. Whatever's going on in your world, thanks for spending at least part of your days here with us on the portal. And by us, I don't just mean me and my many personalities of fun. I'm talking about my good friend and co-host, the big toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard. That's you. This is your moment, Don. This is your moment to shine.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, did I get it wrong? Happy New Year!
That's closer. We'll go with that. Well done.
Well, it's because I wasn't here when, I don't even know if you did a show on New Year's Eve, or New Year's, or I know you did one on New Year's Eve, right?
I did one on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
yep.
I got my butt whooped last weekend, so yeah.
Ooh, hey, nothing.
No, I was...
It's a family show, Don.
Well, actually, now that you mention that.
Okay.
Oh, no, not on a family show. Never mind.
Okay, all right.
However, what's that? Well, that's me.
That's you buzzing and going crazy over there.
Yeah. So, actually, with all this snow shoveling I've done, I Christmas Eve night, I did 4 hours. Christmas morning, I did 4 hours just to get out of the driveway. And then, I did more.
Ho.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was shovel. Can't use a hoe in that shit. Anyhow, so I was thinking, you know what? I got to start an OnlyFans page. So I can pay my snow removal guy.
Shovel porn?
Shovel porn. That's not a bad idea.
That's out there in a Speedo shoveling.
Banana hammock with a yellow shovel. So, if anybody out there could do some Photoshop work for me, let me know.
I did not need that visual. I could have gone all night without thinking about anything to do with you and a banana hammock and a yellow shovel.
Well, I was thinking, have you ever watched the movie Romeo and Juliet?
No.
Well, the little garden gnome that's got the red hat and the red.
Yeah, I know about those.
Yeah, it's a guy, that's what I need. It's just one of those, the red suit, that comes up and just covers this much. So we can downgrade it from banana hammock to a pickle sling. It'll be fine.
Android says he saw an automatic robot snowblower, and I thought of you both.
Oh, nice.
Have you seen them? It's like those automatic vacuums, but snowblower. That was my idea. I thought that'd be a great idea. It doesn't surprise me that somebody actually did it. I had that idea about 8 years ago. I was like, they need to do that. If because people are doing these little vacuum bots and stuff, and they're basically like hockey pucks with what are those little dirt devils or dust devils or whatever. They do okay.
The little iRobots or iBots or
right. Yeah, it's like those things are great, but why not somebody just make like an R2 with a big sucker on it and for vacuuming, Don.
We can load it up.
Can't take you anywhere.
We could load it up with anal probes and everything, and just throw your cat on there. It's good to go.
And then make one that mows the lawn. Let's start pushing the needle forward towards like this life that we have all deserve, where we don't have to go out and shovel snow and stuff. I'm so done with that.
Hey, I got an idea. If there is weather modification going on.
And allegedly there is.
Why can't they just allegedly take that part out of our world?
It's just...
I'd be good with 70 degrees all year long, some rain every now and then, but this snow stuff's got to stop. Oh my gosh.
Dear government, please skip my driveway.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And the 100 feet to either side of my driveway.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, just park a warm front right over my house all year round. That'll be great.
Kirsten Lee says, same here, Don. Thank you. Thank you, Paradox Fossils.
Thank you, Paradox.
Yeah. So,
starting the new year right.
Exactly. So look for me on OnlyFans. And like I said, if we got some people out there that could do some Photoshop work for me, that'd be great. I gotta pay my.
You got a lot of work on your hands, whoever you are.
I'd say I've got to pay my plow guy, but that doesn't sound good when it's time.
That should be your first
person.
That should be your first photo shoot. Is paying the plow guy.
Paying the plow. What's he doing? He's plowing me.
No. Oh, no.
Plowing my driveway.
Oh, God,
The
no.
back entrance.
Okay, you're going to lose microphone privileges pretty quick here. You are teetering on the edge of microphone privileges. Oh, Jesus. God.
See, there's no safe way to say that other than snow removal.
We're going to start the new year demonetized. Yay. Done. Thank you.
Did you say we're going to start the new year demonized?
Demonetized, yeah. Well, you're doing the demonizing just fine. Thanks, Satan.
Let's call
And my co-host, Satan.
let's call our friend the Exorcist Jeffrey. We'll get him over here.
Man, I'm telling you. Oof. All right. Well, before this degrades any further, hope y'all are ready because it's time to get creepy. Let's go with spooky.
I thought we
it's
already are.
creepy. It's already creepy. Let's go with spooky. It's time to get spooky. You do. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what he's laughing about. I'm not in on this.
Maggie says, can you build a snowman with 2 inches, Android? 2 inches of what? I think you can build anything with 2 inches, much less anything else. Mr. Micro.
Sired a whole brood that way. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God! You know, it's hard doing a family show because moments just like this, where you got these things going in your head, and you can't say a lot of them. You can't say most of them. So it's like this constant edit. I mean, my brain editor's going nuts. Nope. It's like redacted. Oh my God. All right. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the show, this is about as good as it gets, and don't have any high expectations because you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Wow.
I just had a person the other day say,
Yeah.
I could only do 10 minutes of the juvenile humor, and I was like, okay, well, take care.
Yeah, we sorted those out real quick, didn't we?
Yay, fourth color.
Yay.
Thank you, fourth color. Thank you so much. That stuff, that's awesome. You guys are great. Thank you
Maggie,
much.
there is you can unsend it. She says, I knew it was a bad idea the minute I pressed send. She still left it out there and dangled it in front of me.
Jesus. I'm just stop. Don't do it. Don't say it. Redact. Oh my God. I got like a page of black lines in my head right now.
Give Don a cookie and he'll eat all day.
I got my inner dialogue right now looks like a freedom of information request. It's like, there's black lines all over.
You have questions?
No, it's just
I have answers.
Things I can't say, and it would be easy. It'd be so easy, but I can't.
Oh my goodness! All right,
let's cook into the news. What do you say, Don?
Yeah, let's get creepier.
I don't know. I'm not sure that's possible, but anyway, let's go to the news.
All right.
Oh, Paradox is showing up too. Thank you. There's a lot of clapping going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Those donations sure help out a bunch. We really appreciate it.
Sugar Britches says, I'm not saying a word. No, all we have to do is take one letter out of your last name.
Oh.
And Don can have some more fun.
Let's just continue on, shall we? All right. So, in the first of our newscast tonight, I pulled up a whole plethora of what I hope is fun.
Nice.
Let me move this over so I can still see the chat. While I'm doing the news. And the first article tonight is coming from, of course, unexplained-mysteries.com. And what they've got to tell us is that You know, you can't. The old saying, you can't train an old dog. Well, you can. You can train a lot of things to do a lot of things.
You can.
Apparently, even you can train goldfish. Scientists train goldfish to drive a.
Gosh.
There you have it, folks. Driving a car around a room.
Is it a Roomba he's driving? That doesn't look like a car.
Well, you know, it doesn't look like a steering wheel either, Don. But you got to work with it here. It's a fish in a water substance. It says the experiment used a specially created fish tank that could be steered around independently by the fish. Developed by a group of scientists at Ben Gurion University in Israel, the bizarre car or fish-operated vehicle is essentially a tank of water on wheels that the fish can drive around on land. Well, that's kind of neat. By teaching 6 goldfish to use the vehicle, the researchers noted that they had demonstrated the capacity for a goldfish to transfer its navigational skills from a marine environment to a terrestrial one. Not really, though. Well, yeah, I guess in a sense, but the fish is still in a marine environment. It's floating in water, right? According to the study, the fish were able to operate the vehicle, explore the new environment, and reach the target regardless of the starting point, all while avoiding dead ends and correcting location inaccuracies. Sorry. The experiment mirrored previous efforts to assess the navigational skills of other animals. The way space is represented in the fish brain, the strategies it uses may be as successful in a terrestrial environment as they are in an aquatic one, said the researchers wrote. This hints at universality in the way space is represented across environments. To drive the tank, the fish simply had to swim in a particular direction. Over time, some of them went from taking 30 minutes to find the target to just under a minute. Wow, so they really did improve. And it says here's Ronev Segiv. I'm excited to share a new study led by these people that goldfish can learn to navigate a small robotic vehicle on land. We train goldfish to drive a wheeled platform that reacts to the fish's movement. Very cool. There you have it, folks.
You have to play that.
I have to play it. Okay. Here you go, folks. Maybe they can put a vacuum on that. I'm just saying, let's make these efforts worth something. It's like, can fish drive? Okay, can they vacuum? Let's find out. Put a vacuum on there. All right, there's the fish tank. It's got LiDAR, computer, camera, and look at that fish go. He's just cooking. Nice. There he is. Oh, going to the park. Sure, I got to go get some bread at the store.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
It's like,
3 hours later.
Meanwhile, the fish is like boiling alive in this. Doesn't water act like a magnifying glass? Like this thing's just getting cooked.
Well, you know.
Well, there you go. There it is. It was driving.
Tropical.
That was a goldfish driving a car. So, just when you thought you'd seen it all, folks.
You know what the fun part of this is, though? Is I'm a reader. You know I'm a reader. I read all the time. My Kindle on my phone is so jam-packed with books and stuff. I've been reading these books. And there is this octopus-type alien that built something exactly like this. And that's how they get around outside of water. Is in a tank with wheels. It's like a wheelchair with, a tank on it, and they can drive it around from inside. It's just crazy. But it's like they use pin plants. So they've got these little computers, into your brain, and it can remotely connect with the computer in the chair. So they just think where they go, and they go.
Is this is just a made up story?
Yeah, it's just well, yeah, I hope so.
Hell, we just watched a goldfish drive down, so
you never know.
I'm thinking could be the next study.
Yeah, well, who knows? But yeah, no, it was a book. So it was kind of funny when you started reading that. I'm like, really? Well, okay.
So here's the other takeaway, though, because I've always heard, goldfish have a memory of like 3 seconds. Mm-hmm. Or 15 seconds or whatever.
Where's my motivation?
Yeah, well, apparently they remembered how to drive the damn tank.
Yeah, well.
So I'm just saying, maybe they have a longer memory than we thought.
Yeah, maybe.
So there is that. For those goldfish enthusiasts out there, they're driving now. Who knows what's next? Let's go to the next one, and the next story is It has to do with Bigfoot, actually, a Bigfoot sighting.
Ooh.
And we love Bigfoot reports here in the portal. And let's see what's going on. So,
Elisa Marie says, I live in Barbados. We already have enough traffic problems without fish driving. Yes. And then drive themselves right to my grill. I'll be okay. Oh, fresh fish. They drove themselves here.
they gave themselves up. All right. Here's from unexplained-mysteries.com. Very reliable Bigfoot sighting reported in Illinois. Very reliable. A recent report has detailed an encounter with a large hairy hominid near Illinois' Sangamon River. The sighting, which is subtitled until I watch anime, right? In a report to the BFRO, Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, occurred while the witness was driving along Route 78 in central Illinois at 10:30 p.m. in the evening. I saw a large animal jump up onto the road about 40 yards ahead, he wrote. When it hit the road, I could see very large legs spread wide in a dead run with large swinging hairy arms. The arms switched back and forth close to the ground as its body was leaning forward. It leaped across the road in 2 jumps, and when it hit the shoulder, it looked back at me. It was about 2 seconds before it vanished in the darkness altogether, but I could see it clearly. It was very large, and even though it was hunched over nearly horizontal, it was still close to being wider than my car and nearly to the top of my windshield. The man later spoke to his coworkers, who explained that the area was well known for Bigfoot sightings.
Oh.
BFRO investigator Matt Moneymaker.
Sorry.
Matt Moneymaker. You gonna do it again? Okay. Just check.
No, once was enough.
Matt Moneymaker. Okay, all right. Who spoke to the witness, maintained that the sighting was very reliable. He was not particularly interested in the Bigfoot subject, but he recognized what he was seeing, he wrote. He was driving 70 miles per hour and didn't slow down much until he reached the next town. He kept going, then stopped in Havana, the next town, to text his wife and kids to say he'd seen a Bigfoot cross the highway. Whether or not it really was Bigfoot he saw that evening, however, remains a mystery. Well, not to the guy. I mean, who the hell else?
No, he's pretty convinced. He said
he didn't have any question.
He did have a question. Why did the Bigfoot cross the road? Duh. Should have saw that one coming.
I should have. God, I just kicking myself now.
What the heck is wrong with you?
I don't know. To get to the other side. Thank you.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, just when you think you're on top of your game. Then comes the...
then Don walks in.
Then comes the Don jokes. There's dad jokes and then there's Don jokes.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, let's go to the next one here. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. This one's kind of a creepier one.
Ooh.
Pale humanoid captured on trail cam in Leesburg.
Wow.
Yeah. So a Leesburg resident recently recorded a very strange clip of something moving outside of his home.
Ooh.
The bizarre footage, which was originally sent to Lon Strickler over on the Phantoms and Monsters blog.
Oh, nice.
Sneak peek this Saturday night. Lon Strickler enters the portal. Pass it on.
Portal. So we need to ask him about this.
Yeah. The individual who recorded it, whose name was not disclosed, had set up 2 trail cameras in his backyard to pick up cats, raccoons, possums, and other visiting wildlife. On this particular occasion, however, one of the cameras was triggered by something that he could not explain. The clip starts instantly from the beginning, and that, coupled by the fact that I have three 30-second motion sensor lights on the ground and one hanging from a tree, it makes no sense that what I'm seeing could move that fast without more on film, he wrote. In the 2.5 seconds, you see what looks like clothing and an arm, but the arm is way too thin, and no fingers or hand is seen. It threw me off, as I have both cameras set for 16 seconds of video. Whatever this is seems to be swinging a very thin arm while running to the side of the camera. You need to pause it or loop it because of such a short length. Really damn weird. You can check it out, the footage for yourself below. Loop the first second, or what could this be? Well, let's check it out.
Let's do it.
From Phantoms and Monsters. And, of course, again, Saturday night, Lon will be joining us here on the show. All right, let's take a look. Oh, that was it. That was, like, literally it.
It's looped. You said it was looped.
No, I looped it. I was looping it.
I thought they said it was looped. Oh.
No, I mean it's just that.
Wow.
So that's it. I mean that's the whole part. Now I want to
Well, it kind of does look like something, kind of waddling away pretty quickly, huh?
Right, it really does.
Yeah.
Let's go back and do a frame by frame here, as we can do that with videos like this. Well, that looks like fingers.
It does, yeah. It looks like, they're kept together, but not, separated. They're
Right.
kind of, doing this, thumb dance kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like this.
Yeah,
It looks like
exactly, yeah.
this, like,
Yeah.
its fingers are tucked or whatever. But let's go all the way back to the beginning, and then we'll go forward. Because I want to just see, like, look at let's blow it up, and really get a look at it.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, those almost look like what you would expect, almost like a rib-like form, but we just don't know what the hell this is. And what is this? I don't know. Let's go forward now. Boom. Second frame, third frame.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming down to his waist, and like
Yep.
he's trundling along.
It is a weird motion, though, isn't it?
What is this thing here, though?
I don't. That's probably on my screen.
No, go back.
This?
Go back. Yeah, go back. No, go back. There's something there.
Okay, hold on.
Right there.
Oh, yeah. There is something down here. You're right. Whatever this is, we don't know. But that is peculiar as well. And maybe it's just something that the light is reflecting off of this very light figure and illuminating whatever this might be. I'd like to see what it's looking at. Well, I guess, if we go forward enough, we should be able to see. But let's go back again. Boom, boom, boom.
So it's only like 3 or 4 frames.
No, it's...
Well, it's more than that because it's...
This is where the hand really comes out and you can see what is going on. But it almost looks like a paw. Oddly enough, it almost looks like a paw.
True, yeah.
Yeah, look at the large wrist structure or whatever. We assume it's a wrist structure.
Right.
But in this, some kind of forearm. But yeah, it is very, very thin. Huh. That's very strange. What is this up here? What does that say?
Uh-oh.
What is
Does it
this?
actually say something?
Is that a watermark or something? It says something. It looks like letters.
I hope it's not a watermark.
Well, I mean, it could be. The guy could have it could be the trail cam,
yeah,
if
maybe.
it's trail cam footage. But
Well, you know what? We've got a perfect chance to ask about it on Saturday.
yeah, we will. I'll keep this. Yeah, that's just it. There it is. Yeah, it looks like it's. I can't make it out though. Okay, whatever it is. But then we go forward, and then it jumps from this dark to this light. Boom,
Yeah,
boom.
so maybe
But
it's
now-
this here.
Look at
Yeah.
this though. This actually changes. This up here actually, like after the white balance changes after that thing is out of the frame, that becomes much more reflective or illuminated.
Yeah,
whatever
so that's
it is.
something in the picture.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, something in the video.
So
not a
what we were
watermark or
seeing
anything.
before was this,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the
That's exactly what it is.
what looks like a dog dish or something laying out there,
That's what I
a
think it
water
is.
bucket. Okay, that is interesting. And there, the white balance is totally restored, and we can see everything. So it literally starts, ladies and gentlemen, right on this, which is weird. This is very weird. Let's watch it again. Boom, there it goes.
And especially the way it was moving.
Right,
You know,
it is an awkward kind of gait,
Yeah, it
isn't
doesn't look like it'd be very fast.
it? No, it doesn't.
know?
Like it's got like its legs taped together,
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's walking in
sideways,
shackles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's kind of a scary thought.
right.
An alien in shackles?
Maybe it escaped. Ooh,
Escaped alien in
Yeah.
shackles? Yeah, that'd be crazy.
that is crazy. Wow. Okay, well, there it is, folks. That is interesting. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that's a very strange image, very strange video, for sure. Okay, I don't have any answers, but we've investigated as well as we can.
You know,
And,
I was gonna mention this too. Maggie says looks like a cow ankle and a hoof, and I was gonna say it looked like a deer hoof. You know, so that popped into my head when we were watching it. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's go back to that a second. Hold on. Let me just pull it back up here
Maybe
a
it's
second.
Deer Man.
Well, that raises an interesting point, though, right? What if it's somebody carrying like a dog or something?
Oh yeah, maybe somebody was out poaching and they got a small deer thrown over their shoulder and it's
a coyote or
something,
something.
yeah.
Let's take a look at it. That's what just occurred to me once you guys said that. It's like, wait a minute, could
because that could very well just be
a dangling?
yes,
a dangling limb of
some kind of an animal. Yeah.
Right. And we just can't see much.
And I would say I wouldn't say a coyote or a cat or anything. I'd say more something like they would have a long, more of a femur, and a hoof.
An undulate, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Of some type.
Yeah.
A small fawn or something.
That's very interesting, though. It's very, very thin. So yeah, I mean that would kind of drive that home. But what is carrying it? And that only appears.
Yeah. Why is it waddling like that?
Right. Yeah. Why is it carrying it so lumpy? Yeah. That really. Yeah. It kind of does, doesn't it? Kind of has that hoof look appearance now. With this being the back, then the frog area,
right,
and this being the hoof in front,
right,
and this being the that actually is a pretty good eye there. We don't know what it is, but that's a great question, huh? We'll have to continue to follow that, and we'll look into it with Mr. Lon Strickler.
There you go.
And see if he can.
When was that posted? See, I keep asking you questions just as you get.
Let me pull it back up here, and we'll look. It was. It's January 3rd. So,
it was just 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't get these from the archive. These are the latest hot sheets. So, yeah, we'll ask Lon on Saturday what the hell's going on with that. That's very interesting. All right, let's continue on our newscast. And the next one is, this is maybe, maybe every home should have one. Not sure what it means, but let's check it out. This is from unexplained-mysteries.com, and it's will Lickovision be 2022's first new TV trend?
Can it be in the bottom of a pool?
I don't know.
Let Darwin take over.
It's just, you just have a window there and people just lick it. No, sorry.
Tastes like goldfish.
All right. A Japanese professor has invented a new type of television screen that you can lick to experience different tastes. Really? Yeah, that's everybody should be licking their electronics. This is a great idea. All right. Move over, 8K. The latest trend in TV technology could be something far simpler and much stranger than a high-resolution display, and that is at least if you're actually willing to use it. Known as Taste the TV or TTTV for short, the new prototype TV technology is being developed by Homai Miyashita, a professor in Japan's Meiji University in Tokyo. A major step forwards towards a full multi-sensory viewing experience. The screen works using a carousel of 10 unique flavor canisters that combine together to produce a wide range of distinct tastes.
Why does this taste like...
Yeah, they watch Dirty Jobs. I don't like this show anymore.
That's awesome.
To experience them, all you have to do is lick the screen.
Wow.
Oh, dear God. This might have seemed rather questionable practice in the middle of a pandemic. The idea behind the technology is to make it possible to experience new and interesting flavors without leaving your house. The goal is to make it possible for people to have an experience of something like eating at a restaurant on the other side of the world, even while staying at home, said Miyashita.
That's going to change the term food porn.
Yeah. Working together. Oh, dear God. You just took that a whole different direction. Oh. All right.
I'll never be a skinny man.
Working together with a team of 30 students, Miyashita has also been in talks to use his spray taste technology in a device that can apply different flavors to a piece of toast.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Can I have some more pork toast?
Pork toast.
Whether the idea of a lickable television screen will catch on, however, remains to be seen. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably not going to take off.
No, there won't be a picture of Dawn on a roll. It won't taste very good. Look at that little gherkin.
Who brought the little sizzler?
Isn't that just a cute little pig in a blanket?
Dear God. You poor people. What did you do to yourselves? What are you doing to yourselves? This is our first show of the year, and Jesus. I'm so sorry. Let me start out with that. I'm so sorry.
You should have started the show with that. I have no idea where this is going. I apologize.
That'll be our new disclaimer on the front of every show. We have no idea what's going to happen after this point. Please.
Dawn's here.
Dawn has entered the building.
Please strap yourself to the chair and hold on.
The dizzy sensation will end if you just close your eyes and sit quietly. Jesus. Wow. Okay. So that's LicoVision or whatever the hell they called it. Jesus. I don't know what the hell.
Oh my goodness. Never mind.
Yeah, just let that die, will you?
That one go.
Yep.
Yep, that was gone. Yep,
okay.
Sorry. Yep. Wow.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one here. This is from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is nations are spending billions on killer robot research.
Yeah, well, we knew that.
Yeah, when the last one we heard was, hey, they couldn't come up with any agreeable guidelines for the NATO deal. And so you knew that was by design. People didn't want to come up with agreeable guidelines and restrictions,
right?
Because they can just build, blenders on wheels, I guess. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's a very, very scary proposition. But the United Nations recently failed to agree on an outright ban of autonomous weapon systems. James Dawes, a professor of English at Macalester College, takes a look at current situation in the... Oh, no, this is going to be huge. Never mind. Anyway, they're building them. So...
The name Kalishnikov was mentioned.
Kalishnikov?
Yeah,
the AK.
Yeah.
It's an AK. Yep. I'm sure there'll be mountain AKs to them. Yeah, that's a big article. So we're going to skip that one, folks. Unfortunately, it's, you knew it was coming. You know it's been going on anyway.
Well, we just have to look back at Slaughterbots, Look it up. Just look it up.
Oh, okay. I'm sure. Is that like the BattleBots kind of thing?
Yeah, kinda,
yeah. Oh, sure.
Oh, no. These are flying bastards. These aren't ones that roll on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's... Oh, is that the one with like the little drones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dramatization. Yeah.
Thank you, Herman.
Well,
welcome to the show.
Welcome home, Herman. You found your people. Yes, we are. We're an acquired taste.
LickVision.
You can lick Don's window and see if you get any peculiar flavors.
Well, this tastes like horse.
Like bourbon.
Bourbon.
No, I don't know. All right, let's see. What is this one? Is this one really big again too? No, this one's not. We can read this one.
2 inches?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You are so going to be muted.
How am I doing, Magoo? Magoo says I'm here to be frightened.
You came to the right place. Unfortunately, not for paranormal, unfortunately. It's just our usual dialogue. And it's frightening. It's even frightening me, so... All right, let's go to this next article from unexplained-mysteries.com. Geological secret passage found beneath the earth.
Wow.
I think that's funny when they say beneath the earth, because what is it like? Is it under the space or what? beneath the crust, maybe? Scientists have discovered a previously unknown opening situated 62 miles beneath the planet's surface.
Oh, okay.
Referred to as a geological secret passage, this mysterious opening in the Earth's middle layer has been discovered beneath Panama, a country with surprisingly few active volcanoes.
The Earth's middle layer, would that be Middle Earth?
Yeah, maybe. Where's Frodo? The region lies on a line of volcanoes known as the Central American Volcanic Arc, which is produced by a subduction zone where the Cocos tectonic plate is pushing oceanic crust underneath the continental crust of the North American, Caribbean, Panama, and tectonic plates. Panama, which lies along this zone, should have a significant amount of volcanism. However, for some reason, it's relatively quiet. A mystery that has left scientists scratching their heads for years. Now, though, it seems that a newly discovered opening in the Cocos tectonic plate may be enabling material to flow through from one side to the other, sparing Panama from the brunt of the activity.
Oh.
The subterranean flow also appears to make it possible for mantle material to flow to Panama all the way from the Galapagos Islands, a process that has never been seen before. Different sources of geological material typically have different compositions, so we can track the contribution from different regions of the mantle, geochemist David Beckert told Live Science. We found that in particular places of Central America, namely western Panama, and behind the volcanic arc in Costa Rica, we have some exotic signatures of geochemistry that really resemble what you have in the Galapagos Islands. Understanding the exact nature of the process involved, however, will require much further study.
That's actually kind of interesting.
It is, yeah.
Especially since I watched Journey to the Center of the Earth yesterday.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Like,
rather timely.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Right.
But I mean, they're working on the idea that there are lava tubes. Jules Verne was working on the idea of lava tubes, extinct lava tubes. So that's basically, this one's not extinct apparently.
But yeah, I mean, apparently it's pretty active as a chasm, but it's not really a lava tube. It's just a void, like where material's flowing through it, but it's not filling it. So very interesting.
And that's interesting that they say that it flows past
Panama.
Yeah, Panama, and they're not as volcanic, because that also takes us back to what we were talking to Brooks Agnew about the the possible idea that there is a ocean under the ocean.
Oh, sure.
And the 1,500 different species of stingray just suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
And the salinity.
Like they came from somewhere.
Yeah, and the salinity was different for a while. And so, hey, whatever. Just
possible.
Ideas.
Just ideas, folks, but that's what we thrive on here on the portal. Let's continue on. We've only got two more. Okay. What is this? Oh, yeah, this is.
we got to talk about.
We got to talk about this one. Because I don't think it's having an open mind for the idea of other entities, biological entities existing in the natural world, I think is a good thing. I don't think that. I think this whole label and canned philosophy that you have to only believe in this stuff because we discovered it. Anything else is just preposterous, and you make a mockery of yourself. Well, here from unexplained-mysteries.com, zoologist was sacked for believing in the Loch Ness monster. New documents have revealed the truth behind the sacking of Dr. Dennis Tucker from London's Natural History Museum. Dr. Tucker had been a highly respected zoologist at the prestigious museum for years. But when he was unceremoniously sacked from his role as the museum's principal scientific officer in 1960, the precise explanation for his alleged insubordination would remain a topic of speculation for more than 60 years. Now, though, newly released documents have finally confirmed that, despite his impressive academic achievements and reputation, Dr. Tucker had been removed from his position solely for the reason that he believed that the Loch Ness monster was real.
What?
Months before his sacking, he wrote about the monster in New Scientist magazine, prompting senior figures at the museum to express concerns about potential reputational damage. The trustees wish it to be known that they do not approve of the spending of official time or official leave on so-called Loch Ness phenomena. A memo issued from 1959 reads, if, as a result of the activities of members of the staff, the museum is involved in undesirable publicity, the trustees will be gravely displeased.
Oh, no.
Dr. Tucker was ultimately sacked on the basis of continued vexations, insubordinate, and general offensive conduct towards the museum director and other senior staff, and in reality he had simply been attempting to secure funding in an effort to investigate the monster. I put the project up to the Natural History Museum, he was quoted as saying. At the time, the museum does send out expeditions to collect specimens, but they didn't like the idea of a Loch Ness expedition at all. They refused me leave to lecture on the subject since I was sacked. They have banned me from the library. I had an international reputation as a zoologist, and now I'm like a struck-off lawyer.
Huh?
That's too bad. I mean,
that's not right. I mean,
right.
Granted, this was back in 1960, which, you weren't allowed to really talk about this stuff because you would become that guy.
Right.
But that still really doesn't give you, that it doesn't stand up.
I think that's kind of the tragedy, though, is that there's there's no adventure left for these guys. You know,
Right.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
we have it all labeled and canned. You just must, just sit here and look good. Whereas this guy's like, hey, there might actually be something there. Let's look into it.
Right.
And I think that's admirable. I think that's very cool. And obviously, they're still discovering new species. And, 1960s was a long time ago. And since then, they've discovered many new species, some of them big, like new orangutans and probably the bonobo.
Right.
Chimp was discovered since then. So it's like, there's still discovery to be made. And just because it doesn't seem plausible by our educated, academic quarter, it doesn't mean it's impossible. What is it? The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence.
Right.
And that's the big thing. So I feel bad for that guy that was what he received for his ambitions, but
Right.
it's kind of it's all political. It's all political. And, bunch of old stuffy people probably interested in the posterity of the institution and how important that is. And more so in the 1960s than even now. Now we get Jeff Meldrum and stuff, and he's, he's out there checking out footprints of Sasquatch and stuff, and that's awesome. And he's still employed. So I guess we've come a long way in a way.
That's true. Yeah.
That's encouraging. Here's one to start 2022 with, and I found this one. I thought, wow, this is very interesting. And this is from unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is Baba Vanga's predictions for 2022 revealed.
Oh.
It said the blind mystic made several notable predictions for the next 12 months, and none of them are good. Vanga, who was born in Bulgaria in 1911 and died in 1996, age 85, spent most of her life in the Kozu Mountains and was renowned the world over for her prophetic predictions about the future. While a great deal of skepticism has always surrounded the accuracy of these predictions, many people remain adamant that she had successfully foretold a wide range of major global events. For the upcoming 12 months, she made 6 notable predictions. 1. There will be water shortages. A shortage of water in many countries will generate political problems as governments struggle to secure access to additional supplies. Number 2, virtual reality takeover. This prediction, which suggests that people will become hopelessly glued to their computer screens, seems to have been interpreted as more to do with general computer internet use than genuine virtual reality, which is something that Baba Vanga would not have known about. It could also be argued that this has already come to pass, at least to some extent. Number 3, locust swarm in India. Vanga reportedly predicted that India will be subjected to soaring temperatures and a devastating swarm of locusts at some point over the next 12 months. Aliens will arrive on Earth.
No way.
Woo! This one seems by far seems the most out there of all of her predictions, and it's something that we've heard before numerous times. It seems that this is highly unlikely to come to pass in 2022. Number 5, another virus.
Go figure.
Wow, really? Oh, we just call that Wednesday around here.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Most would interpret this as a prediction of another COVID-19 variant, but however, Vanga reportedly mentioned a virus being released from the Siberian permafrost due to global warming.
Oh.
Number 6, more catastrophes, a general prediction about flooding, earthquakes, and tsunamis. So, there you have it. I don't know. I don't know anything about Baba Vanga, but, the blind mystic, maybe there's something to it, maybe not.
Well, why not? I mean, we've been listening to freaking, what's his name?
Nostradamus?
Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Since like the 1500s,
He was hitting the cloves? Was it cloves?
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
He was hitting that nutmeg pretty hard.
Smoking the nutmeg pretty hard, yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's impossible that people can have the ability to see forward a little bit, but I don't know. Big grand prophecies, I think, are usually I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in them because the thing about the way life moves, everything is about decisions, moments, choices, and certainly there's a global intelligence and a global flow of things, and there's individual flows of things, and perhaps maybe that is possible, and maybe in some part of the multiverse all these things will happen. Maybe some of them will happen here, but I don't know. Again, you can't live afraid. That's the big thing.
Right? Yeah.
You just can't live afraid. And
You have to live every day, and you have to just keep going. I mean, that's like this whole pandemic thing. You know, well, here we go. We're going into what, year 3 of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Year 3. Can you believe that?
Right. No,
And
I can't.
you know, and people are still so scared of this thing.
Mm.
You know, that they're not living their lives. They're hiding in their houses, or they're being made to hide in their houses.
Right.
Let's put that out there.
Sure.
You know, they've got to cover their face, so it's so scary. But you know, I mean, yeah, it's out there. We know it's out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's, you know, as I understand it, everybody's supposed to get it eventually anyway. And yeah, there's new strains and stuff, but you can't live afraid.
You can't do that. Yeah, you just can't.
You can't live your life afraid. It's like, yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're all going to experience something during our lives that ends our journey.
Right.
Whether that's just time, whether it's a disease, whether it's an accident, whether it's an illness, and whatever. I mean, but
Right.
you can't not live your life because of your fear of, you know, possibly, you know, one of those ultimates coming. You know, just, I don't know, folks. I don't pretend to know.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I think there's so many people working so hard right now to keep people afraid of so much, including each other, that it's got us all just in a absolute wound up mess. And I think the real liberation is in letting go. Just saying, whatever happens, you know, I'm just going to enjoy this life as much as I can.
Right.
And I'm going to help people where I can and try to enjoy the journey.
And that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. we you poor souls.
Wow.
You're stuck with us. But we love you for it. Thank you for being stuck with us.
Yeah.
Because we can't think of better people to be stuck with.
That's right.
Than all of you guys.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Introverts Unite.
Yeah. I know. It's like, yeah. We are just here to make your life better. We hope you're enriching your life experience with us. So if not, you get what you paid for. All right. So this concludes the Paranormal Portal newscast for today. Well, that was fun. Right, Don?
Yes.
Yeah. That wicked cackle of yours.
Jeez. You know, I was at work, I was working today, and somebody did something. I kind of walked out.
It's like
I was
getting a
thinking
story from my kid's school.
Well, I was thinking about this thing. I said, you know, I'm supposed to write these attaboys, right, for people who do these things, right?
Okay.
So I walk out to this area, and there's a piece of garbage laying on the floor, right?
Ooh.
And there was a manager walking my way, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I was just standing there, and I had this pad of paper and this pen in my hand, and I thought to myself, if this manager stops to pick up this piece of garbage, I'm writing him an attaboy. And sure enough, they actually did. Instead of walking right past it like they usually do, they actually bent over, picked it up, and I started laughing.
Excellent.
And 20 feet, as she goes past me, 20 feet by, she goes, sometimes Don laughs scares me.
It's a wicked. So Android says this is the longest news segment ever.
Yeah, an hour. Yeah,
it was almost an hour, wasn't it? Wow. Well,
See,
it was fun though.
See, I can take you in all kinds of twists and turns.
Yeah. It would have been 10 minutes if Don hadn't gotten off on his tracks.
It's not my fault you started talking about lick-a-vision.
Lick-a-vision. Oh my God.
I have my computer Ethernet to my TV.
I don't.
Big screen.
Okay. All right, so folks, we are going to get into the paranormal fun that you've come to expect.
Oh, yeah.
Not only the news, but wait, there's more.
There's more.
You forgot your light, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yeah. Oh, interesting.
Because you're all shadowy. You're all shadowy and dark over there, Don. That and your cackle on top of each other. It's
Shadow
like,
person say.
you're scaring people.
Scared. I'm scared.
I'm all scared. It's like there's death over there. All right, let's check. Oh, yeah, let's go to this, and then we'll go to the other one later.
All right.
I got a couple other articles that I want to make sure to get to, but we'll start here. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get going on the first one on our order is from a list generated by, was this the one we were going through or was this one? This was terrified, creepiest experience.
Oh, we have the nicest people.
Why? What happened?
Maggie says, I saw someone say your laugh, Dawn, was medicine for the soul last week or so.
Oh.
So there's that side too. And then Eliza Marie, she says, your laugh is contagious and a delight.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I have admirers.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go to the first. I think we're gonna. You know what? I'll start with this one.
All right.
Because there's several other things that I want to touch on, but I don't know what we'll get time for. All right. This is an article from moneymade.com, and it's an aggregated article that we so love here, where they Reddit troll for questions and pull them up. But this one it's been a good one. We're on number 38 now, and God, it's on number 38. But look where the scroll thing is. It's way up here. So this is a huge list.
Either that, or it's got a lot of ads and
no, but this is on the Brave browser, so it's supposed to kick most of the ads out.
Yeah, but it still leaves the spot. It just takes the pictures.
It
and
can like this,
away.
but
Right.
But it only leaves a small footprint.
Well, let's go.
Let's check it out though. And this is it's real life supernatural horrors.
Oh, thanks, Maggie. she said it was not me that said it. Just passing it along. Gosh.
Well, that makes it a little better. Weapon X5. That's a new one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose we should probably talk about that a little bit. Okay. For those of you that don't know.
Yep.
Our dear and wonderful friend, Mr. Kev Baker, passed away, and it's a painful thing because for us we've been friends with Kev for years.
Yep.
He's also from TFR, Truth Frequency Radio,
the mother network,
our mother network, and we've been following him every Friday night for years, and we've been on his show. He's been on our show. And it makes me terribly sad to have to see his passing. He passed away, and for those of you that don't know, he did have quite a journey with some cardiovascular issues, and so it wasn't the corona thing or anything like that. He was having some other issues, and I guess finally they caught up with him, and it's a terrible loss for all of us. We love Kev very much, and the world lost an amazing light, especially all of those woo lovers out there, which are all of you. Yeah, the Wookiees and all of you who are into the paranormal, the 40 and the supernatural. And he also dove into conspiracy quite a bit too, and he was a great person.
Yep.
Now, what I can say about Kev Baker is that he was the guy that you saw on the shows. He was the guy you listened to. It wasn't an act. It wasn't a character that he played. That was him. I chatted all the time with him on Skype regularly.
Right.
I never met him in person, but we were friends through years of working together. And I used him as a sounding board from time to time. I used him to ask help on some issues, and likewise we would just share thoughts. And I will miss that man terribly. And it's I think Friday show is probably when it's really going to hit me, because he won't have been the one to say that we're coming up next, so
we won't have our warm-up act.
Right. Yeah. Well, he was the headliner.
That's
he really
true.
was.
He really was. Yeah.
And he will always have been. I was just honored to be a part of his experience, and to follow his show was always a real big honor.
Right.
Because he was such a profoundly awesome person. There is a link on my Paranormal Portal radio page to a PayPal that the proceeds of which are to benefit Kev's widow and his son, and probably to help out in that absence of such an incredible person. So if you are a fan of Kev's, or you want to help out, and this would be a great way to do it if you don't mind, or if you're able to. For those of you that are not, just for all of you, please just pray, send him love on his journey, and pray for his peace, because he's earned it.
So, I didn't know he was so young. He was only 45.
Yeah, he was only 45.
I didn't realize he was that. I thought he was a little closer to our age,
Yeah, we're just much older.
Well, I mean, we're 5 years older than that. But
Sure.
still, I mean,
Yeah.
I thought he was, closer to our age than, say, Paisley's age or
Right.
whatever. So.
Yeah, but, anything that you wanted to say?
No, I mean, you said pretty much everything, all the heartfelt stuff that needed to be said. I mean, love doing the crossover shows with them. When we were doing the Freaky Friday Paranormal Portal, crossover shows. Done a few of those, and Friday the 13th and things like that, and just having him on the show just in general, and it's just when him and Scotty were on, and him and Naysay, and
yep.
And just having those guys on was just so awesome. And we're gonna miss Kev a lot.
Dearly.
Yeah, because he was actually the guy that we were trying to,
we were always we were in a friendly competition.
Exactly.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
All good things come to an end. Unfortunately, that was too soon, too young, and he'll be missed. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, at least send him a prayer. Send him your love, and wish him well on his journey. And I'm just really blessed and thankful that I got to know the man, that I could call him a friend, and that I got to share his journey. He's one of those really special people. I never heard him angry. I never ever in all the years I knew him, he was always upbeat, friendly, kind. I mean, he was the closing of the shows. He was be good, be kind, be nice. Mm-hmm. That was Kev. I mean, that was the person he was, and he is. I mean, I believe that we continue, and I'm sure he's continued. But, unfortunately, the passing of people we care about is hard on those that survive. I think he's probably doing just great, because I'm sure he earned his place. But he just really loved. He really loved the truth, and he loved to spread the truth. And so it was just really special to have been a part of his journey. And it's been really shocking, and but in a good way, to see the amount of people from so many varied places and other shows out there that I didn't even know he was involved with, are all like nodding their hat, tipping their cap at his passing. He touched so many lives, and he was in many ways part of what I modeled my approach to learning. When I started the portal, I had no idea what I was doing. None. I'm not sure I really have an idea now, but I really love it. But I did take a lot of cues from the way that he always ran his shows. He was just a seasoned pro and really knew what he was doing and did a hell of a job. So we love you, Kev. I hope you're smiling down on us wherever you are, and just know that you'll always be in our hearts, and you'll always be in our prayers. So thank you, guys. And yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to hold it together because that's a tough one. But yeah, what more can I say? We love the guy, and I hope you guys will at least send your love, because he was truly a good and wonderful man. So let's continue here. So we're going to go to this article on Money Made, and because the show must go on. And Money Made. Okay. This first one, number 38, is a familiar face. It says, I've always wanted to share this story, but I've never had a good opportunity to do so until now. I used to work in the intensive care unit night shift back in my service days. For those who have never experienced one, you should know that hospitals are always creepy at night. But that never really bothered me until one terrifying night. Until one night, then it happened. It said I had a patient that was on the outs, and we were expecting for him to pass that night during our shift based on how his condition was looking. The rooms in our ICU had glass partitions and curtains, so you could see the patient next door. And this is about 1:30 or 2 in the morning, and while I'm in the next room over, something on the periphery suddenly catches my eye. There is a man leaning over the bed, and his face is just inches away from the one in the bed. I'm looking on in disbelief, and eventually I realize that this second face is the same person as the one on the bed.
Oh.
And he's literally staring at his own body on the bed. Thinking I'm losing it, I come around the partition to see if it's a coworker in there, and no one is in the room. Maybe an hour or so later, the fellow died.
Wow.
To this day, I can't really explain that experience naturally, no matter what way I try and look at it. And that was by the pineapple.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. Though. So,
Right.
his soul was just looking at his body going,
Right.
Well, that must be that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's also interesting because it does seem to at least illustrate that the passing isn't always when the body finally just flatlines.
Right.
It may have already happened. The soul may have already passed.
Right. It's just the shutting down of the body.
Right. But the biological functions may continue for a period after the soul has actually left. And that's pretty wild. Yeah. Very wild. All right. So number 39, you light up my life. You light up
Gallon
my
of gas
life.
and a match.
And a flamethrower.
You may light up somebody's
You
life.
give me hope.
Oh, look, there's Red Cap Goblin.
To
Haven't seen you in a while. Anyhow,
Huh? Oh, Red Cat
to
Goblin.
carry on.
Oh, yeah, that killed it.
That
All
one.
right.
Yep, there we go.
All right, number 39,
All
you
right.
light up my life. This story is about the only time in my life that I ever experienced something unexplainable. I doubt that, but anyway. And had another person there to back me up, so I didn't feel crazy. The fact that it was my girlfriend who confirms what we saw really drives it home for me. Because I know that she is the person who would take the first chance she gets to call me crazy for any reason.
Why are you with her?
Must be love.
She must be crazy too. Crazy in love.
Oh, me and her would occasionally go outside and look at the stars. And on this particular night, instead of driving out somewhere, we were lazy. Just laid on a blanket on the back patio in southern Pennsylvania. That night was super clear, and it was during the summer, as usual. We were there for about an hour and didn't see any shooting stars. Then this one light appeared. In the night sky, it looked about the size and brightness of a star, maybe slightly bigger, like when you can see a planet. It seemed like it was more orangey or yellow than the typical white star you'll see in the sky, but whatever. Whatever it was clearly very far away. At first, I thought we had finally seen a shooting star and could go back inside feeling satisfied because the bugs were starting to bite. Now, imagine laying on your back and picture the following. The object started from behind the dogwood tree by my patio in my upper left field of view. My feet were facing away from the house, and I would have hit my head. I would have to tilt my head, rather, looking back. Tilt my head back, looking upside down at the house to see it. Okay, sorry, I'm stumbling on that. From there, it moved slowly to the center of the sky. Then it stopped, a complete stop. And then, before I could even process this development, it suddenly changed directions at breakneck speed and went across the dome of the sky towards the horizon back behind the dogwood. We each said nothing. Seconds later, it was back, moving crazy fast, and then it stopped cold again, before making a 90-degree turn. At this point, it went very slowly and then accelerated insanely fast. Then it stopped again. It just kept doing this over and over in random combinations and orders, and it moved so unnaturally. The sudden extreme changes in speed and direction scared me, if I'm being fully honest. I'd never seen anything like it before. There's nothing on Earth that moves like that. It wasn't a firefly or bug in our face or a searchlight or anything like that. Its actions were way too irregular to be any of those. It was way up there with the stars, and it ripped across the dome of the sky towards varying points in the horizon. Then it would be out of sight for a while and then come back. It just kept coming back. Finally, we broke the silence. We turned to each other wide-eyed, and I said something along the lines of, did you see what I see? And she just replied, yeah. Want to go inside? To which I replied, yes, please. And then we spent the rest of the night racking our brains trying to make some sense out of whatever the heck that we had just seen. For the record, neither of us were under the influence of any kind of substance, nor had we ever been. We saw this light. It was there, and it was way up there. None of this is in question. As far as either of us is concerned, if you saw the perspective of how far away it was and how unrealistically it moved around, it would send chills down your spine, like the ones I get from typing this story out and remembering all the details of the incident. I hear lots of stories about strange lights that people see in the sky, but I have yet to hear one that fits precisely with the object that I witnessed that night. Has anyone else out there ever seen anything like this? Anytime I hear about someone else who had a UFO sighting, I immediately want to compare notes with them. I would give anything to know what that thing was. That was by D. Gianguilio 228. I don't know. I'm probably just abusing the hell out of that, but that's the best I got. Folks, we're going to take just a quick break. I got to use the loop.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance before the show because we were running late. So
it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
We can't run late on Wednesday.
Well, just a courtesy late.
Oh, courtesy. Gotcha.
Courtesy late. But
sure.
Anyway, we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Enjoy the
musical stylings,
melodic stylings of me.
Yes,
I guess.
there you go.
All right, we'll be right back. That was Don getting up.
Everybody likes to play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, ripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me. Their lies keep falling apart. But I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. Finished with my silence. I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness. Just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise. You're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity. Just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet.
right, folks. Welcome back. Sorry for the break, but I had to use it. I had to go.
He did.
And it's a good thing I went when I did. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, he'd be having some depends right now.
Oh, yeah. It was like I got in there and then as soon as I opened the door, it was like a clown car. It was like, it was time to go.
It was busting out.
It was busting out. But anyway, I'm got better. So now we can continue our journey. So that was a good one there. Let me just see. There's a couple articles I wanted to really hit on here. This next one is an article from the mirror.co.uk.
Okay.
And this is a visual. And this is a man snaps naked alien with a bulbous head in an area believed to be a UFO hotspot. There's a picture for any of you. I don't know. There's like an arrow there. What does the arrow do?
Nothing. Oh,
hey. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
No, that's triangular UFO.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is the one we want.
Okay, this is the one we're going with.
Yep. So let's check it out. It's Hunter Donald Bromley captured an eerie image of what he thinks is a bulbous-headed naked alien. Sounds like an action figure.
Sounds like Don needs to shut his mouth.
Join OnlyFans. In Redgate, Montana, an area believers claim to be a beacon for paranormal and extraterrestrial activity. It says a man claims to have evidence of alien life after his hunting camera recorded a naked bulbous-headed figure running through a UFO hotspot. The eerie image shows what looks like a gray humanoid darting around in a field in a rural area of Redgate in Montana, U.S. He goes, "Where did I put my pants?" I know they're right here.
I shouldn't have taken that Viagra. I keep heading north.
Following the needle, damn it. The hunter who took the photo, Donald Bromley, said he initially thought the creature was a person, but the more he looked at the image, he became convinced it had extraterrestrial origins. The Sun Online reports Donald's camera was set up in Redgate, which is in a town
Near Deer Lodge,
called Deer Lodge. Oh, you know that place?
Yeah,
in Montana?
Yeah, there used to be a major prison there.
Oh, was that far away from us? Or
it's a bit of ways, yeah.
Okay. Which believers claim is a beacon for UFO sightings and out-of-this-world experiences. Speaking to local outlets, KXLF, Naked Alien Witness, Mr. Bromley said, "The more I look at it, it was just odd. It was just out of place, and everything just matches the alien persona, the bigger bulbous head. You can tell he has no clothes. It's kind of transparent being. It's just very rich in the paranormal field, like the UFOs, lights in the sky, unexplainable things," he added. I guess that's him. Poor guy.
He could be average Don on the street.
He's not enough beard, I'm sorry. He doesn't qualify. Mr. Bromley claims Redgate residents have seen really bizarre objects appearing and darting through the sky. Other so-called mysteries in the area include cars stalling on local roads for no reason and a homesteader painting his gate with his family's blood after their grisly murder.
What?
Jesus, those are hardly related, I don't think. It's like, hey, you might see a UFO, or your neighbor might paint the fence with the family's blood.
Wow.
What a sick bastard. Ugh. All right. Patrick Cutler, who lives close to the naked alien sighting, is producing a documentary about the area's unexplained incidents. The investigator and filmmaker said Donald's image is just one of a series of mysterious events that locals have encountered. There's much more to the story than people realize, Cutler told The Sun Online. It comes amid renewed interest in UFOs as a brand new agency is created to investigate sightings.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever. There you have it. Let's see. Oh, there's more. A Pentagon report in June this year gave skywatchers hope as the office admitted for the first time that there are things the defense agency can't explain. I think things. Mm-hmm. It comes less than a month after the NASA report suggesting alien life forms could have visited Earth already. The organization said while it is yet to find any credible evidence of extraterrestrial life, it is not closed to the possibility that aliens exist. It comes from a NASA report released in November under the Freedom of Information request from governmentattic.org. In a collection of emails, one NASA official said the earliest alien records are probably 1440 BDC
Yeah.
or 2018 AD, or not, depending on what science and comments we believe. This was written in relation to the unsolved mystery of a cooking pot in China, which dates back to 7000 BC. Its owner asked NASA for an expert opinion on the pot's UFO artwork depicting symbolic language, hidden meanings, futuristic spaceships, and clothes from a vanished civilization. The official responded, yes, if it was an alien who visited Earth, say 7,000 years ago, or any time, I too would take a simple thing in front of me, like a clay pot, to record my visit in multiple languages, or symbols and dimensions and technologies, including 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, and beyond any comprehension here and now. I don't understand that last comment at all. But at any rate, let's take a look again at the image. There it is. It's, I don't know. I mean, it's not, it could be like One Punch Man, for God's sakes, you know. That's an anime character. But, I mean, I don't know where they're getting the naked part, because it does look like it's sleeves. It looks like a sleeve there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what's that? If that's his hand and that's his sleeve, what's that?
What's this?
Yes.
His other hand.
His other hand. Okay,
It
good.
could be like a bent at an angle,
Yeah,
like, you know,
something
like
sticking
this.
out,
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like he's naked. I don't know why they had to go with naked. And, usually when people have claimed to have seen grays, they see them as if they're in like form-fitting leotard-like
Right.
clothing.
Right.
So, yeah, he's not like wearing a hoodie or something, but it's not necessarily naked. It's
And
just
it's not
opaque.
necessarily a really bulbous headed either. That
Right.
doesn't,
That's not
that
out of the
doesn't
realm.
strike me as out of proportion.
Yeah, it's not out of human range.
I
It's
don't
not like
think
this, monstrous lobe above here. Yeah, I don't know. It is curious. Why is this person in the dark? Obviously, no flashlight or anything, just stumbling around. That's weird. If it is a person, if it's not a person, then it's still weird. So I don't know. I got no horse in the game really in the race, but I think it's kind of interesting. Could be the real thing, but what is it? Who knows? Could be a ghost for all we know, really.
Right.
It's obviously a little bit translucent. Looks like light. It's blurred quite a bit. So is that a translucency or as an apparition might appear?
No.
Okay. I mean, it could be.
I don't really think it's transparent. I think it's just whitewashed.
No, translucent. like-
Translucent. Well,
yeah.
still enough.
yeah. Well, that
Potato
yeah.
to potato.
It's interesting though. There you have it, folks. That's one of the weirdness articles that I wanted to bring and that came from Android Purity. He pointed that one out to me and said, "Hey, there's some stewing." This is another one from Android, and he's it's kind of cool because he's curating articles and stuff. So thank you, Android. Pharmacy gets you one of the medical. Oh, Android says if it is an alien, seems more like a tall gray or tall white, maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say. I would go with white because it's clearly very very light colored, but
Right.
I don't know. Very strange. Here's one that Android also pulled up and said, "Hey, this might be kind of interesting." A few key points we'll cover at the end. Android outlined in this message, but it says NASA releases estimates on exploding meteor that shook the city. Oh man, look at that font size. Here we go.
Wow.
That's like microfiche.
Micro mini.
All right, let's go to this. It says, Pittsburgh, a meteor that caused an earth-shaking boom over suburban Pittsburgh on New Year's Day exploded in the atmosphere with an energy blast equivalent to an estimated 30 tons of TNT, officials say. A NASA Meteor Watch social media site said late Sunday a reasonable assumption of the speed of the meteor at about 45,000 miles per hour would allow a ballpark estimate of its size as about a yard in diameter with a mass close to half a ton. And it said if not for the cloudy weather, they said it would have been easily visible in the daytime sky, maybe about 100 times the brightness of the full moon. Nearby infrasound station registers the blast wave from the meteor as it broke apart, enabling estimates. Meteorologist Shannon Hefferson said the National Weather Service looked into their satellite products that monitor flash density, and the data showed no storms were around at the time of the reported boom. Saturday morning. So Hefferson said the other explanation is that it could have been a meteor explosion when meteorites enter the atmosphere. Hefferson said the incident is not unheard of, but it doesn't happen often. This last time she heard of a similar report was back in September 2021 in Hardy County, West Virginia.
That was just a few months ago.
I guess, yeah, it was pretty recent, I guess. On social media, reports came in on the noise rumbling that could be felt from East Huntingdon, Irwin, and Elizabeth townships to as far as Carnegie and Mount Washington. Residents in South Hill and other areas reported hearing a loud noise and feeling their homes shaking and rattling. Allegheny County officials say they had confirmed that there was no seismic activity, no thunder and lightning, and the USGS earthquake map showed no reported earthquake activity in the region as of 1:30 p.m. Saturday. The interesting thing is even if it was overcast and cloudy, if it was an exploding meteor, wouldn't you have seen the flash? Wouldn't some people have seen the flash?
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
And how big was it again? Go back to how big it was. Because it's like it said a meter and that it weighed how much?
Half a ton.
Half a ton?
Yeah.
That's dense.
That is. Yeah.
That's dense. 1,000 pound.
45,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Size is about a yard in diameter with a mass close to half a ton. So I guess they're assuming it's
pounds,
it must have been like almost entirely nickel or iron or something.
Right.
But, woof, that's a heavy piece of rock.
So I see that my first OnlyFans member is here now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Gigi.
Oh, okay.
I know she'll support me.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck with that endeavor. Just don't affiliate it with the portal. All right, so let's continue here. That was that one. Let's continue here. And what do I have next? I got one from the Sun, the U.S. Sun. The U.S. Sun. I guess there's a U.S. branch of the Sun magazine or whatever. And I'm not sure if this is more of a... if there's any merit to the Sun, or is it just a tabloid rag or what? I don't know. But they have a report here.
Well, Men in Black calls those
the
kinds
hot
of
sheets.
things the hot sheets. So.
Yeah. Well,
Yowza.
I don't know if the Sun is that. Thanks for sharing the articles. Yeah, thank you for sharing the articles, Android. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate when you guys help me do the shows. That's awesome. If you find articles or things that you've read or seen, and you want them, you think they'd be good on the show, then send them to me via email or however, and message me and let me know. I'm happy to include those materials too. It makes my job easier, honestly. All right. Yowzer, we were confronted by a Bigfoot-like Yowie ape man on our way home from work. It was absolutely terrifying.
Yowzer.
This is from this is from December 14th, 2021. 3 men have told how they encountered an apparent Bigfoot-like Yowie as they, well, I don't know what is a Bigfoot-like Yowie actually?
Wouldn't that be like, the same thing?
It's like a alligator-like crocodile. It's like, really? Okay. As they traveled home from work, leaving them terrified. The men from remote Queensland, Australia, have claimed that they came across the beast while driving home earlier this month. Wow. The Courier Mail reported the 3 plantation workers were driving on Saturday, December 4th, to the Jimna base camp in Australia, where they spotted the animal. They said they spotted a slouched-over figure under a streetlight, and when the figure noticed them, it turned in their direction. Seamus Fitzgerald told the Courier... Seamus? Oh, is that right? That's a Seamus?
That's a Seamus.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've always pronounced it Seamus. All right. See, I Seamus my mistake. I Seamus mistake. All right. Seamus Fitzgerald told the Courier... How do you get an SH out of that?
Don't ask me. It's Gaelic. What do you want me to tell you?
All right. There you go. Seamus Fitzgerald told the Courier Mail describes the mysterious figure as having a very long arms and an ape-like face. He said, we initially thought it was a boar or a really big animal until we got closer and saw it run off in a very ape-like way. Wow. I've never really had any paranormal or strange experience like that before. I hardly slept that night, and the feeling was overwhelming that I had seen something that I never believed in previously. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Well, at least they're open to the idea that they can actually believe in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Once again, though, we have to ask the question: why'd the Yowie cross the road?
To get to the other side.
Oh, well,
Thank you.
oh boy.
I am. I can be brought in on those jokes.
Even a heavy meteorite the size of a football disintegrates. It still sends a shockwave to the surface.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. That's paradox fossils. Yeah.
Very cool. Here's a weird one from Phantoms and Monsters that I had pulled up. I was going to use it on another show, but I thought we'll use it tonight.
We read this.
Did we?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
We
then,
read this like 2 weeks ago.
no, it's from the 28th.
Oh.
December 28th. There's no way we read it.
I swear we read it. Okay. Well, let's go.
I mean, now you got me wondering if we read it last week. What? It's possible, I guess. No, yeah, it would have been from Tuesday of last week. So it's possible we read it last week. Okay. Yeah. I'm just scanning.
Because we were making jokes about Pigpen, and I said
that's
Charlie
right.
Brown.
That's right. Yeah, I just forgot to close it then.
Yeah.
I forgot to close it.
Oh,
False
sorry.
alarm, folks.
Sorry.
False alarm.
Oh.
This.
Are you going to talk about the? Are you going to talk about by any chance the Todd Standing?
Why the hell do I have this?
Did you see what Todd Standing posted the other day?
Nah, I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, he just wants to body. He wants to.
He says he doesn't want it,
but he says it's going to be necessary. Yeah.
yeah, he says eventually.
Yeah.
He talked about how he was going to trank one.
Oh, trank it?
Well, there's a group of people that apparently got a hold of him that said we have this plan and we're going to kill and body a Bigfoot. But years ago he had a plan to go out and tranquilize one, but he realized that would probably be a bad idea. So, but I guess he's been contacted by some people with like special ops training and stuff like that, and technology and stuff like this to go out and actually bring one back in.
Well, yeah. Anyway. I don't like the idea at all.
No,
I don't.
think it's a bad idea. Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's many tiered why I think it's a bad idea. One, I think once it is substantiated, there's going to be just an influx of people rushing to the forest to see one for themselves.
Find the new ambergris.
Right, exactly. And then the other one is that, they're going to be absolutely harassed by organized science because, well, we got to learn all about them then, because they've had this decades and decades of denial. Mm-hmm. Of the possibility of it being there. Well, if they're finally acknowledged, then every scientist of every university is going to be wanting to run out into the forest and find some to study them and Diane Fossey the things.
Right.
And that's probably going to cause people to get hurt. And then there's going to be the other people, that'll probably go to try to bag one.
Yeah.
Because, there's some people that just like to shoot whatever they can.
Well, it brings it back to Hanobia, when they were shooting at what they thought were big feet, Sasquatches, Sasquatches, and then they were attacked, so, hello,
Yeah, it doesn't end well. And I think that if they are out there, there may be a pretty decent population, but I think the stress of our recognition and pressures of our researchers and every curiosity seeker is going to be overwhelming on these beings that have managed to subsist on their own just fine without us. And, I think we'll devastate what's left of them. I don't think that they will endure it very well. And they certainly won't endure it in cages in a zoo. And, there's going to be those people.
Yep.
They're going to want one to, put in the zoo so people can see what they look like.
Oh, Ruger.
What did he say?
Ruger says, if Todd told me it was dark, I'd have to go ask the moon. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, yeah.
There you have it.
So, but anyhow, that's what Todd said.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and I don't disagree that may very well be what it's going to take for some more legitimate acknowledgement of the thing.
Right.
The question is what do we gain by that? Those that have seen it, those that have experienced it, they don't need that official. It's kind of like UFO. UFO. Right. I don't need the government to come out and say yes, the UFOs are real. I mean, it's fine that they did, but I saw it. I experienced it for myself, and so I know they're out there, and I believe the same is true for the Bigfoot and for the Dogman, and I think there's merit to all of it, but. I guess there's a very big I don't know, like almost an imperative with most people. Like, we need to have this acknowledged so that we're not, maybe because they don't want to look like they've been blowing their money and time looking for a snipe or whatever.
Right.
What are those snipe hunting?
Snipe hunts, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oddly enough, there actually is a bird called a snipe. Just saying.
Okay, that's probably true. I don't know, but I think it's interesting, and I guess personally I kind of hope they stay
Right.
undocumented,
Undiscovered.
Yeah, but wherever it goes, and whether in this world or the next, whatever, life is fleeting, and whatever happens will happen. It doesn't matter how much I worry about it. So
Yep.
All right, let's get back to another article. This is, I don't think I'm going to touch this one because this is so far out of context of everything. I think we'll just go back to the Money Made article and read some more. I just want to make sure to cover those because Android went to all that trouble to aggregate those for us.
Absolutely.
So let's go to number 40. I saw the light. Back to the Money Made article, of course. It says, I'm a non-believer in anything supernatural or paranormal, but no one else in my family shares this point of view with me. In fact, many of them are very big believers in the supernatural nature of various weird things that they've experienced in their lives. A lot of their stories, I've just chalked it up to sleep paralysis, etc. But this particular one is my mother's, and as far as how it plays out in my head, I can't think of any logical, natural explanation of any kind. The story goes like this. When my mom was about 13 or 14 years old, she lived in Thailand with her family, and they lived in an apartment building on the 7th or 8th floor. She was playing with the Ouija board.
Oh, gosh.
With her brother and 2 other Americans in the evening. So the sun was still out, and there was people walking out in the streets near her building. Obviously, when engaged in this kind of activity, people naturally start asking about their thoughts on ghosts, demons, and what have you. And after a while of scaring themselves with their own ideas, a red glowing orb, like some kind of strange entity, becomes visible, starts to float in through the 7th-story window. This catches everyone's attention, to say the least. This mysterious thing hovers in the middle of the room for a half a minute or so, and then disappears entirely. All of them practically pooped their pants from fear and ran out of the room to where the adults were.
It actually says poop their pants.
It actually does.
For once,
I didn't have to edit it. Yeah.
Wow.
As often happens, the adults sensed nothing wrong and thought they were all just lying or imagining things, and that was the end of that. To this day, more than 40 years later, neither of the witnesses relent at all about what they saw, not even a little bit of doubt in their voices when the topic comes up. I see my uncle regularly, and he has the exact same story as my mom, down to every last detail. It makes no sense to me, but I simply can't believe it was a demon or Satan or some stupid thing like that. But I honestly can't think of any rational idea that could explain what would cause something like that. So alas, I'm stuck in the unenviable position of having to wonder about it for the rest of my life, probably with no clear answers coming at any point in the foreseeable future.
Well, once again, the willingness to be open to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, why not just accept that it's her experience and let it go? If you can't explain it, let it go.
Well, it's not your job to explain it. It was hers.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if
exactly.
you don't understand it, or you're not, agreeing with it, or choose to put it to the side, that's all up to you.
Yeah.
I mean, not making a choice is making a choice. So
it's still making a choice. You're right. Very good points. All right. That was by Y. It's just one letter Y. Why me? Should have been why me. All right. Let's go to number 41. Run for your life. When I was a lot younger than I am now, I once went over to a buddy's house for a little sleepover party. His mom came down randomly while we were chilling, and one thing led to another, and before we knew it, we were all into a full-blown conversation with her about a whole bunch of random topics. And at one point during the conversation, she started telling me about some freaky stuff that has allegedly happened to the family over the last couple of years. My buddy Justin's younger sister has some kind of mental handicap, though I'm not sure exactly what the nature of it is. When his mom was telling us stories, she would just giggle in the background and keep looking behind us. His mom told us a story about how one night their fire alarm went off randomly in the middle of the night, and the doors were all opening and closing by themselves. Jesus,
Huh.
that's intense.
That's because of the younger sister.
Yeah, she's
a poltergeist magnet.
maybe. That's a good point. Once this commotion all stopped, they found a picture of her father face down on the ground. The frame was completely smashed to pieces, even though no other pictures had fallen off the wall. They found out later that night that her father had just died in his sleep unexpectedly.
Wow.
Later that night, after I heard this story, and another about how my buddy had always complained about a man appearing at the end of his bed, I was freaked the hell out. I actually I stepped that one up a level.
You did.
It said freaked the heck out. But anyway, there were 3 of us in the total in the room after his mom left us to try and go to sleep after hearing those stories. Yeah, like that was going to be possible. He had a pull-out couch, and we set everything up for a bed. 1 extra mattress was going to be on the floor, and the second would be on the pull-out. My friend Kyle was freaking out, standing against the bookshelf and looking toward the open basement. Meanwhile, me and my friend were looking beside him at the TV, trying to convince him to lay down, just take it easy. He kept saying, "Screw that. I want to see if some ghost is coming." He had his blanket wrapped around him, just staring out blankly to see if anything spooky would happen. Me and my other friend eventually got fed up, and we were like, "Screw it. Let's go to sleep." Just as I got up to turn out the light, I leaned over to the edge of the bed and reached out to turn off the switch.
Oops.
And before I hit the light, something happened that I still can't explain. The TV suddenly shut itself off, and the lights turned off by themselves. It scared the absolute heck out of me. I immediately jumped back into bed and saw what looked like my friend with the blanket run into the darkness. Ooh. At the same time, my other buddy just grabbed me and screamed, and then as things calmed down a bit, I said to my other friend, "What the heck did Kyle, the friend with the blanket, run off to?" It finally hit me that he had just run out of the room in someone else's house and never came back. But before either of us can even process the question, all of a sudden Kyle comes out from under the bed.
Oh.
He claims that all he did was hit the ground when the lights went off and that he had never run out of the room. But that's not what I saw, I told them. I swear on my life I saw someone in a white sheet type of thing run out of the room towards the darkness. And I still stand by that statement to this day. As you can probably guess, they were both pretty freaked out at this point, and I was pretty freaked out too.
I bet.
And I could not leave the basement at this point because the exit was the path of whatever ran away, so I just kept the TV on for the rest of the night and never went to sleep. My friend's younger sister claimed to have a name for the ghost. Apparently to her, it was a little girl named Jody. Just goes to show that this type of thing really was fairly frequent occurrence for the people who lived in that house.
Wow.
Oof.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be all kinds of cray-cray. I got to get a drink.
Maggie says I'd leave even if I had to sleep in the car. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But seeing who you think your buddy is, who you think is your buddy, running up those stairs towards the door that you would have to go through.
Yeah, that's
you'd
kind of
have
creepy.
to follow in those footsteps, and
Yeah.
then realizing your buddy's still hiding under the bed. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Maybe it scared the spirit out of him. He lost one of his 9 lives.
He was actually exercised at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Scared him so bad he jumped out of his body and said, "I'm out of here.
I'm
So
out.
I scared myself."
Absolutely. Wow. That's crazy. Oops, that one didn't go on the couch.
Nope. Blame it on Minion.
What are all these bottles doing? It's it's our kid. You gotta get to throw things away. No, I'll get them picked up when the show is over. All right, the next one, folks, on our list of freaky fun here: the skeletons in the closet. Who did that one, by the way? It was about a permalink. There's no credit to give because it's just a permalink. Skeletons in the closet. Oh, I love them there. Try to leave them there. I've only had one potential paranormal, supernatural, or unexplainable experience in my entire life. And I truly never expected to hear myself say that. I'm quite a stereotypical skeptical type of person in a lot of ways. That was a lot of mouthful. That was a huge mouthful. But this incident has always left me wondering, and to this day, I still have no logical explanation for what I experienced that day. So here goes. My first ever overseas holiday was to Vietnam.
Ooh, nice.
We went to Thailand. Now we're off to Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen. We are a worldly show here on the Portal, just so you know. I went for 2 weeks, and I would later return to stay for a year. I loved the place. Anyway, on my first visit, it was about a week and a half into the trip, when my tour guide, who had since become a very good friend of mine, and remains one to this day, offered for me and my friends to have dinner at his house. Very nice. We agreed to take him up on this offer, and we had an amazing meal that gave us some real insight into Vietnamese life and the culture of the country. His house consisted of a total of 3 rooms. There was a bedroom, and that doubled as a living room, and there was a laundry room, and with a toilet on the side of it, and there was a storage room off to the side. Now, an important detail to be aware of before I go any further is that this house only had 1 door. It was in the bedroom/living room, and the house had a total of 3 windows, 1 in the bathroom and 2 in his living room. The storage room had none. No doors, no windows. This is the full truth, and we are 100% certain about that. Anyway, back to the main story. So we've just finished dinner and are just talking when all of a sudden I hear a series of strange noises. There were very clear footstep noises coming from this storage room. And when I say that they were very clear, I mean so clear, there could be no doubt whatsoever in any of our minds that someone was in there. My friends and the owner of the house heard it too. The house owner was kind of surprised, as you can imagine, but he kept his cool. He gets up and starts talking in Vietnamese and calls out in the general direction of the storage room, "Hello, who is that? What are you doing in there? Please come out and identify yourself." We all watched intently, in intense fear and suspense. But as soon as my friend said all that, the footsteps disappeared. A few seconds later, my friend decided to check things out more thoroughly. He walks into the storage room, and we all follow closely behind him. And we're in central Hanoi, so I was worried that it may have been an intruder and that this situation could quickly become dangerous. I proceeded with a lot of caution. Anyway, we go into the room, and there is no one there. Nothing. No sign of anything at all. It is then that I am reminded that there are no entry or exit points to and from this room except the one that we're standing in. And we had never taken our eyes off of it for even a second since hearing the initial sounds. To get into or out of the storage room, you most certainly would have had to walk right past us during the meal. So we discussed this amongst ourselves, and the more clear it becomes for us that what we just thought we have witnessed is completely impossible, the more we start to get a little concerned. We're all male, so eventually this discussion turns into your typical macho nonsense and silly joking around. We continue chilling out, and he plays us his favorite records. Somehow we managed to shrug it off and chalk it up to some kind of misunderstanding, and amazingly we were able to forget about it for a while and just continue to try and enjoy our evening. That is, until my friend started to put his records on to play for us. At around this time, we suddenly all hear the sounds again. And this time, it's past the point of undeniable, so it is so obvious and so clear that we all spring up and get ready for a fight of some kind. The owner runs outside and gets his neighbors, who are all chilling in the street. He explains to them what is going on, and they all come running in to try and help confront whoever or whatever is in there. So here we are, 3 Australians very far away from home, scared out of our minds, along with 5 Vietnamese people who we've never seen before, but look ready to battle for the battle of the century. We gather around the entrance of the storage room, and the noises are still going on very clearly there for everyone to witness and hear. At this point, the footsteps have picked up the pace a little bit and sound as if someone is jogging on the spot quite briskly. Tap, 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 over and over again. The neighbors can't believe it as we whisper to them that this is the second time it has happened during the course of the evening, and we count to 3 and run in all together. When we got inside, we immediately noticed that the cupboard door was now wide open, and the contents of it were strewn all over the floor, but nothing else. No animals, no people, nothing. We were all overwhelmed with fear. Even the neighbors who had just joined us were bouncing around in shock, and every single one of us knew that something was in there, and now it was gone. without a trace or an explanation. And we all knew beyond any doubt that something was terribly wrong and not normal about this whole situation. So we decide we can't just leave the room again and ignore it. We absolutely tear this tiny storage room apart, leaving no stone unturned, and we check the 2 cupboards. Nothing. I checked the boxes in the room. Nothing. We all looked to the ceiling. Nothing. There was nothing to be found. This was a room no bigger than your average bathroom size. There were no windows and no doors leading outside. If someone was in there, they would literally have had to squeeze past us in order to leave the house, no matter how hard we tried. We were unable to find anything unusual in the room or come up with any logical explanation for the noises or the mess that we had witnessed. Jump forward a few years, and my good friend, the tour guide, has now left that place, gotten married, and become a father. And we still, to this day, occasionally talk about the incident. We still have no idea what the heck happened back there. And this was by far the strangest thing that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. I still vividly remember running in and seeing this cupboard open and spewed out onto the ground and thinking, holy heck, it's on for young and old. That was my favorite dream.
Wow.
That's pretty creepy. Eesh. Creepy, creepy, creepy stuff.
Whoa.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
You're exploding, dude.
I'm exploding.
All right, number 43. We're going to read this one. That was, favorite dream. Number 43, a perfect score. My grandma's sister used to get beat up by her husband. Oh,
jeez.
Damn it. I hate those stories. My grandma looked him in the eyes and said something so disturbing, it's impossible to forget. She told him, he who hits his wife will lose his arm. 2 weeks later, he blew his arm off in a freak hunting accident. Also, when she was a kid, she was walking with her father, and they saw a friend in the street. As they were approaching him, a crow landed on my friend's head, or the friend's head. My grandma looked up at her dad and said his life would be over soon. The friend died that very night in his sleep.
Wow.
I know it's not exactly a ghost story, but it's pretty darn paranormal if you ask me.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so sorry people are in bad relationships like that. Ugh, it's so horrible. All right. But I guess he got his just reward.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Number 44, not my house. You don't. Not my house.
Let's go back to the the little girl in the house, his buddy's house. And
Yeah. All right. The guy who bought my late grandfather's house turned out to be the son of one of my grandfather's least favorite people in the entire world.
boy.
Now, it is not to be taken lightly, as my grandfather liked practically everyone he ever met. I have no idea what he thought of this guy's son, or what he would think of him living in the place he used to call home. Anyway, a few weeks after the guy moved in, he called my uncle all upset because he thought he was being haunted by my grandfather. He'd been hearing strange noises from the rafters in the attic. My uncle, who could barely contain his laughter, told the guy that the house was built in the 1600s and has had a mouse problem for years. He then suggested that the fellow either go get a cat or call an exterminator, whichever he prefers, and that it was the end of that. He called an exterminator, and presumably the problem was solved, as he never mentioned it again to us. But deep down, I'd still like to think that it was Granddad, and that he is currently looking down and laughing his butt off. That was by Zerby.
Well.
That would be hilarious, though. I have no idea what the beef between those guys was, but it was obviously profound enough, and what an insult to have that nemesis, his offspring, by your house. Yikes. All right, I think we got time for one more. What do you think? One more, Don?
Yep, we can manage it.
All right, number 45. It's a bird. It's a plane. I don't know. Let's find out. I'm a pilot, and one time I was flying my plane like any other day, and suddenly I saw this bright orange glowing thing hovering over the trees. It was kind of bouncing around like if you had a ball on an elastic string, and you just bounced it around and whatnot. Anyway, since my course would have brought me near it, I asked air traffic control if they saw anything on their radar, to which they said no. They asked me what I saw, so I described it, and they said they weren't showing anything and were not aware of any activity in the area that could explain it. The thing shot straight up and disappeared, so I told them it was gone, and they asked me if I wanted to file a UFO report, to which I said heck no, I joked that it was probably just a weather balloon, and then I continued on my way. I know it wasn't a balloon, but I don't want the FAA questioning my sanity for claiming to have seen a UFO. What freaks me out is that we as humans know so very little about the ocean, but relative to us, the ocean is still pretty finite. What is behind the blue sky we see above us is practically infinite. And we know even less about it than we do about the water. Really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
That's an interesting way to say that, but yeah.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, we know very little about the oceans, what's in there. We have almost no idea what's out in space, what's possible. That's why I love Star Trek. They'd go out and find weird stuff. And you know what? Even though the scripts are all made up and stuff, you know somewhere out in the universe there's something exactly like what you saw on every episode of Star Trek.
Yep.
It's that amazingly immense, for sure. But
there you go.
There you go. In the words of the Longbeard, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And that's going to conclude our journey through the Paranormal Portal tonight.
Yep.
Hope you guys had a good time. Thank you for joining us, all of you. Thank you for those of you that were able to do Super Chats. Again, please, if you can, visit the Paranormal Portal radio page on Facebook. Look for that link to the PayPal if you want to help, send some love to Kev Baker's widow and his son. I'm sure that would be greatly appreciated, and we sure would appreciate that on their behalf. And so, as always, folks, Happy New Year. We're so thrilled so many of you came out to join us on our maiden voyage back into the portal in 2022. And we will be back on Friday, of course. And Saturday, remember, Lon Strickler of Phantoms and Monsters fame and Arcane Radio podcast will be joining us here on the portal. So, and if you've never heard Lon talk, it's going to be great because the guy has such an expansive knowledge base about all of these paranormal Fortean topics. It's just going to be a blast. And he's one of those guys, I'm sure we could do an 8-hour show and he would still have plenty to tell us.
Oh boy, yeah.
There's just no way we're going to fill even, we're never going to run out of things to talk about. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. That'll be Saturday night here on the show. Next Wednesday, we got a few guests coming on. Mr. Stephen Major is going to be joining us along with some people he's bringing along to talk about some of the projects they've been doing. Right. And this is, of course, he is the creator and host of Bigfoot Today and has many expeditions and documentaries under his belt with Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC. Yep. And he's going to be joining us next Wednesday, and we're going to start diving into that stuff. And he's also working on a new cryptocurrency that you guys will probably want to hear about. So there's a lot of things coming up here on the portal. Trying to make 2022 amazing. So definitely stick around, spread the word, continue to come in here and share the love.
Yep, absolutely.
Don, anything in closing?
Yeah, please don't forget to support me on my OnlyFans page because I have to pay my plow guy. I mean, my snow removal fella.
All right. Well, that's the last time you're promoting OnlyFans here on the show. So anyway, guys, just remember we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. Love you all. Have a great night, and we'll see you on Friday right here, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't be late.
Good night.
Good night.
Woo!